Hello everyone. So basically today we are going to look into SPM clinic series in chemistry. So welcome to our webinar today. So today's webinar will be conducted by our Dr. Naima. She is the chemistry lecturer in MAHSA University. So we are not going to wait. We are going to call her and we will start our SPM clinic series today. So Dr. Naima.
Okay, so Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone. So today is something like we want to more to discussion how to answer question regarding to paper 2 SPM, because most of us say that paper 2 is difficult compared to objective question. So because paper 2 question more to paragraph question, and some of the question will be diagram question. So today we will I will give you simple tips on how to answer question regarding to organic chemistry, as well as how to extract information from the questions. Okay, so my name is Dr. Naima from Pre-University Study Foundation in Science. So this is the example that I get from SPM, okay, which is past year question regarding to organic chemistry. Okay, so according to this question, because normally the question will be paragraph question, or maybe they will give you only the very simple information, and from that question you need to identify what type of organic compounds that will produce according to the information given. Okay, so we will do this question together. Okay, so for example, this question asks you regarding to molecular formula, organic compound for R, S, T, and U. So the problem with organic chemistry, because most of the students say that organic chemistry is very difficult, because the first thing, because they don't really understand reaction, and then they can't remember the reactant as well. So in able to understand organic chemistry, not necessarily you need to memorize, you need to understand, because in organic chemistry, carbon that directly attached to the functional group will have reaction, and other carbon which don't have any particular functional group won't react with their reagent. So this is you need to memorize if you want to, or understand if you want to predict the structure of your product. Okay, so for example here, okay, the question asks you regarding to molecular formula. So before we go to the structure, before we go to the calculation and everything, you need to differentiate between molecular formula and empirical formula. So molecular formula basically will tell you how many or exact number of carbon or hydrogen or any elements from your substance, while for empirical formula, which is it will give you only the ratio. Okay, so this is the major difference between empirical and molecular formula. Okay, so then after that we go to the question. Once you understand the term molecular formula and empirical formula, so then after that you can proceed to the question. Okay, so according to this question, you can see this is the information that we can get from the question. Okay, so the question is, you need to determine the molecular formula for compound R, S, T, and U according to the information given here. Okay, second, you need to state the functional group as well as the homogeneous series. Okay, so the first question is, it stated that, okay, first of all, you need to extract all the information that you have here, which is information that you have would be R. So R is information carbon equal to 4 atoms. Then you can see carbon. Yeah, these are contain carbon and hydrogen. So this is only the how to extract the information from the question. And then the information, decolorized bromine water. Okay, so decolorized bromine water means that it will contain C double bond C, which is known as your alkene group. Okay, S will be carbon equal to 4. Then after that, you can see information, it only contains carbon and hydrogen atoms. Okay, then after that, the another information don't have positive result with bromine water. So means that negative result for bromine water. Okay, so means that this one known as your alkane, because alkane don't have any reaction with bromine water, but alkane have reaction with bromine gas in the presence of UV. So therefore, it will give you positive result when it react with bromine gas in the presence of UV. So T, what information that we get here? Carbon equal to 3 atoms. Then you can see what about the solubility in water. So information solubility in water means that it will have reaction with water. So when you have soluble in water, means that you should refer to H bond, hydrogen bonding. So in able to form hydrogen bonding, you should have electronegative atom. What is electronegative atom? It will be oxygen. It will be nitrogen and so on, just according to your periodic table. So let's say this will be your periodic table. Okay, so this one, okay, let's say this one will be your periodic table. So element more to right hand side known as more to electronegative atoms. So for example, you have oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, and so on. And then another information is, you can see here, information that you have, for example, is T. This compound react with zinc, it will produce TZN plus H2 because they stated that it will produce H2 gas. So H2 gas means that reaction carboxylic acid with zinc or with metal, it will form, this one will be your salt. Okay, then after that, it will produce your RC double bond OH. Okay, so another information is you can see here. Okay, so another information is regarding to you. So regarding to you. Okay, wait for a while. Let me. Regarding to you, which is information that we have for you is carbon also equal to 3. And then another information, soluble in water. So soluble in water means that it will produce this compound contain electronegative atom. So means that it will produce hydrogen bond. Okay. So then after that, you can see another one is you react with, you react with CH3COOH, which is ethanoic acid, to produce ester. Okay, which is sweet smell plus H2O. So this is the information that we have from the question. Okay, so if you go back to the question, okay, the question asks you regarding to molecular formula for compound R, S, T, and U. Okay, and second question, homogeneous for series, and then the third one will be functional group for T and U. So according to this information, which is the one that we extract from the question, okay, if you want to identify R, S, T, and U, okay, for example, R, here we stated that carbon should equal to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then another information, it should be carbon and hydrogen only. So means that your compound R only contain carbon and hydrogen. Means that there's no other element except carbon and hydrogen. And then another information, third information, decolorize bromine water. So means that it will give positive result for bromine water. So means that you will have double bond. Will be this one. Sorry. Okay, this one will be double bond. So H. So here you can see you have H. Here you have H. Here you have H. And here you have H. Here you have H. You have H as well over here. You have H and H over here. Okay, and then RS, it will be your alkane because it stated that it will be your alkane because the key here is do not decolorize bromine water. So it will be CH3, CH2, CH2, and CH3. Okay, and T is stated that carbon equal to 3 at the same time soluble in water. So it means that your structure should contain electronegative atom. And then according to another information, which is last information for T is, you can see it stated that will produce H2 gas. Okay, so H2 gas means that carboxylic acid react with metal, it will produce salt together with H2 gas. So how to draw the structure? You need to follow. Carbon should equal to 3. 1, H, 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 C, H, C double bond O, OH. Okay, and then the last one is S. Okay, it stated that should be 3 carbon atoms soluble in water, and then it will produce ester with ethanoic acid. So ethanoic acid will be the keywords as well as your sweet smell, which is ester. So alcohol react with carboxylic acid, it will produce ester, and the process for this reaction known as esterification. So, and don't forget to write down H2SO4 as a catalyst and reflux, because if you don't put reflux and H2SO4 as a catalyst, you won't get any ester. So how to draw the structure for you? Always remember, is it based on the information given, carbon equal to 3, soluble in water means that it should contain electronegative atom, and then you should have carboxylic acid, alcohol, sweet smell, and H2O will be your side product. So it will be carbon equal to 3. Can you see? Okay. Okay. CHOH. H. So this is the structure for S. Okay, and then when you go back to the question again, okay, the information given, so you need to do some double check. Is it your structure is correct or not? R equal to carbon equal to 4, only contain hydrogen and carbon, and then decolorize bromine water. So decolorize means that it will be double bond. Okay, what about the functional group for T and U? So for functional group for R would be alkane. For functional group for S would be alkane, because you don't have any double bond. At the same time, it will give you negative result for bromine water. And then for T, the functional group will be carboxyl group, because you can see C double bond O, OH here will be your carboxyl group, and S here will be hydroxyl group, because you can see the OH. Okay, so settle question 1 regarding to molecular formula, and then functional group and so on. So next we move to second question. Okay, second question regarding to R and S. So it stated that as we know that R will be your double bond, S will be single bond. So the question is how to differentiate between R and S according to the flame. Okay, how to differentiate regarding to the flame? You need to find the relative molecular mass for R and S according to the information given. Okay, so how to find the percentage? Because you need to find the percentage. So it will be relative. We need to find relative molecular. Okay, so you need to find relative molecular mass of R, which is R will be C4H8. What is the formula? It will be 4, because you have 4 atoms of carbon, times 12 molecular atomic mass for carbon, plus 8 atoms of hydrogen, times with 1 will be your atomic mass. So total it will be 56. Okay, 56. And then what about the percentage? For percentage carbon in R. Because if you want to find which one will give you more flame or less flame regarding to the number of carbon. Because the one that gives you more flame or less flame regarding to carbon. So percentage of carbon in R equal to relative molecular mass for carbon divide by relative molecular of R times with 100%. So 4, because it refers to carbon, 4 carbon atoms times with 12. Okay, time 4 times with 12 divide by 56 times with 100. So it will give you 85.71%. Okay, and then relative molecular mass for S, it will be 58. You can use the same concept with relative molecular of R. And then what about the percentage carbon in S equal to 4 equal to 4 times with 12 divided by 58 times with 100%. It will give you 82.76%. So you can see 82.76%. Okay. So according to this information regarding to the percentage, you can see your R percentage for carbon would be 85.71, while for percentage carbon for S compound would be 82.71. So therefore your R will give you more flame compared to S according to this percentage. Okay. So second question, you need to balance the chemical equation. Okay, according to this question, balance chemical equation for combustion of S. So S, okay. So, okay, just remove this one. Okay. Okay, so C4H10 plus O2, then you get CO2 plus H2O. Okay, the question is how I know whether the one is CO2 plus H2O or CO plus H2O or CO2 plus H. Because according to the information given, if you go to the question, you stated that complete combustion. Complete combustion of hydrocarbon always will give you carbon dioxide and H2O. So the keywords there will be complete combustion. So complete combustion of hydrocarbon will always give you carbon dioxide and H2O. Okay, so how to balance this kind of chemical reaction? So first you need to balance according to the number of carbon. So carbon you have equal to 2. Okay, so carbon equal to 4. So you need to make it as 4 over here. And then at the same time, hydrogen equal to 10. So here you have 2, you need to add 5 H2O. And then the last one is oxygen. So first, if you want to balance the chemical equation, oxygen will be the last element that you need to balance. The first one will be carbon, second will be hydrogen. So according to this information, you can see 8 plus 5 equal to 13. So 13 over 2. Okay, so therefore you will have 13 over 2 oxygen. So second question asks you regarding to draw two isomer according to compound U. Okay, which is, as we know that your U will be alcohol. So that one, if you want to draw the isomer, we call it as position isomerism. So it means that you need to switch the position of OH from carbon number 1 to carbon number 2. Okay, so here you can see it will be C, 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 O, H. And then the second one is C, 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 O, H. So you can see the difference. If you can see here will be carbon number 1, carbon number 2, and carbon number 3. So here you can see carbon number 1, carbon number 2, and carbon number 3. So means that you can see draw the isomer means that you need to manipulate or change the position of OH group, which is hydroxy group, from carbon number 1 to carbon number 2. And then don't forget, complete with the hydrogen. Okay, so settle for second question, which is regarding to isomer for compound U. So next question is regarding to empirical formula for glucose. Okay, so you can see the green plant undergoes photosynthesis to produce the glucose, and then the molecular formula for glucose will be C6H12O6. So the question is write the empirical formula for glucose C6H2O2 O6. Sorry. So according to this information, okay, like I said before, the difference between molecular and empirical. So molecular more to actual number of element for that particular compound. But when you have empirical, it will give you the ratio of your element inside that particular compound. So for this case will be glucose. So how to get the empirical will be the ratio. So how to get the ratio? Ratio means that you need to divide with the lowest number of your element here. Okay, lowest number of your element here, which is C6H12O2. You need to divide all the subscript with 6 because 6 here will be the lowest number. So empirical's formula will be CH2O. So next question is the chemical equation for photosynthesis is shown below. So this is the information that you can get from the question. And then the question asks you what is information that you can get from this particular chemical reaction. Okay, so first information that you can get from here is 6 moles of carbon dioxide react with 6 mole of H2O. So that one will be the first information that you can get. Second information, according to this chemical equation, you can see, therefore, 1 mole of C6H12O6 will be produced. And the third information that you can get from this chemical equation is 6 mole of oxygen gas will be produced. Okay, so I repeat, if you want to know the three information from this chemical equation, you can see the number of coefficient here, okay, for your reactants and your products here, known as your number of mole. So you can discuss regarding to the number of mole. So 6 mole of CO2 react with 6 mole of H2O. First information. So second information, therefore, it will produce 1 mole of your glucose here, C6H12O6. And the last information that you can get here, you can see it will produce 6 moles of O2 gas. So that is the information that you can get from the question. So question number 3. So this is another question. We call it as diagram question. Okay. So all the information will be inside this diagram. So if you can see here, we have glucose, compound P, compound Q, compound R. So the question is you need to state the name of the reaction 1. Okay, so first draw the extract all the information that you can get from here. Okay, which is P will be colorless, and then glucose, the process is fermentation, and then after that you can have Q will be dehydration, and then you have reaction 1, and then you can see KMNO4, acidified KMNO4, and then we produce compound R. And then the question is you need to identify reaction 1. Okay, so always remember fermentation of glucose, it will produce colorless, which is alcohol and carbon dioxide. So alcohol and carbon dioxide. So information that we can get from the question is colorless. So colorless means that one will be referred to alcohol. You cannot refer to your CO2 because CO2 will be your gas. Okay, so it will produce colorless liquid. So therefore, molecular formula will be C2H5OH. Okay, and then after that you can see Q. When you have alcohol, dehydration of alcohol, it will produce double bond alkene. Okay, and then you can see colorless KMNO4, oxidation of alcohol. Since this one is primary alcohol, therefore it will produce your carboxylic acid, because since your structure here is primary alcohol, so this one is primary alcohol. Oxidation of primary alcohol always will produce carboxylic acid. Oxidation of secondary alcohol, it will produce your ketone. And oxidation of tertiary alcohol, no reaction. The reason is because there is no replacement for the hydrogen. Because if you can see, for tertiary alcohol, you don't have any hydrogen. Okay, so this is all the information that you can get from the diagram. So the question is, you need to find the molecular formula, structural formula, homogeneous your structure. So here you can see what about Q. Q, according to P, the structure should contain carbon equal to 2, hydrogen equal to 6, oxygen equal to 1. So if you want to predict the structure of alkane, you need to have C, double bond C, and then this one will be C. Okay, then after that complete with the this one you have only carbon equal to 2. Okay, so and then you can see here it will be hydrogen. because dehydration of alcohol always produce your double bond. So then after that, you can see colorless, done. Q, done. What about P? Since is primary alcohol, therefore the structure should be CCOH. Here would be H, here would be H, here would be H, here would be hydrogen. Okay, and then since it will produce oxidation of primary alcohol will be produced carboxylic acid. When you draw the structure, you need to make sure your structure for compound R should contain this one. C double bond OH. Okay. So, and then what about the functional group? You can see for Q, it will be C double bond C. For P, it will be hydroxyl group, and R will be hydroxyl group. What about homogeneous? It will be P will be alcohol since you have hydroxyl group. Q, since you have double bond, therefore the name will be alkene. And R, since you have C double bond OOH, it will be your carboxylic acid. Okay, so settle for P, Q, and R. And then second question asks you regarding to volume of carbon dioxide gas produced when 7.0 gram of compound Q is burned in excess oxygen. So according to this information, okay, you need to extract all the information that you have. So information that you have will be complete combustion of Q. Second information, mass of Q equal to 7.0 gram. VCO2 equal to the one that you want to calculate. So according to this information, this question basically it will involve 3 steps. So step number 1 is find the number of mole for Q. Okay. So mole Q equal to 7.0 gram divided by 28. So it will give you 0.25 mole. Step 2, you need to find number of mole for O2. How to find number of mole for O2? Okay, how to find number of mole for O2? It will be according to information given, you can see C2H4 plus 3O2, it will produce CO2, which is 2 mole of CO2 plus 2 mole of H2O. So you can see here that 1 mole of C2H4 will react with 2 mole of, will produce 2 mole of CO2. So according to this information, if you want to find the mass of your CO2, it will be 0.25 mole C2H4 equal to 0.5 mole equal to 0.5 mole CO2. Okay, so which is according to the chemical equation here. which is 2 mole of, this one will be C2H4 plus 3O2, then you get 2CO2 plus 2H2O. Okay, so according to this information, step number 3 is find the volume equal to 0.5 mole CO2 equal to 24. Okay, go to the next. Okay. So here you can see, as we know that according to the information, 1 So 1 mole CO2 equal to 24 dm cube, because it stated that 1 mole of CO2 at room temperature equal to 24 dm cube. So when you have 0.5 mole CO2 equal to 24 dm cube divided by 1 mole CO2 times with 0.5 mole CO2. So it will give you answer 12 dm cube. Okay, so settle for question number 3. Okay, and then the last question for today is regarding to calculation, more to calculation, which is regarding to enthalpy. Okay, so information that we can get from here is, you can see heat combustion of ethanol, and then mass of ethanol 0.575, and then the the volume of water is 100 centimeter cube, and then the initial temperature will be 28, and then final temperature will be 62. So the question is, you need to find the heat release from the combustion of ethanol, number of mole for ethanol, and heat of combustion for ethanol. So this is the question, or this is the one that you want to calculate. So according to this information, mass of ethanol equal to 0.575 gram. Volume of H2O equal to 100 centimeter cube, and T initial equal to 28 degrees Celsius, and T final equal to 62 degrees Celsius. So the question is, you need to find, first question, you need to find heat release. Okay, mass, you need to find mass of H2O first. So how to find mass of H2O? You can base on the equation, density equal to mass divided by volume. So just rearrange that formula until you get mass of your H2O will be on your left hand side. So it will be 100 centimeter cube times with 1.0 grams centimeter cube minus 3. So gram per centimeter cube. So it will give you 100 gram. And then second question is, second step is, once you have mass of H2O, you can find the heat release. So heat release equal to MC theta. MC theta, okay, which is M referred to the mass of water, okay, which is 100 gram times with specific heat for water, okay, according to the information given, 4.2, and don't forget the theta here will be the difference of the temperature that you have, which is delta T. So 62.0 minus 28.0 degrees Celsius. So what about the answer? So it will be 1480 joule. Okay, settle for question 1. Okay, so question 2. Question asks you regarding to, okay, second question regarding to the mole of ethanol use. So mole ethanol use equal to 0.575 gram, which is mass of ethanol, divided by molecular weight for your ethanol, which is 46, okay, divided by 46 gram mole minus 1. It will give you 0.0125 mole. So last question for today is heat combustion of ethanol. So how to find heat combustion of ethanol? If you can see here, the question asks you regarding to the ethanol. So therefore, everything regarding every calculation basically regarding to ethanol, which is 0.0125 mole of ethanol equal to 14280 joule, which is this one is the heat released during the chemical reaction. So therefore, when you have a heat combustion, it always refers to 1 mole. So what happens when you have 1 mole ethanol? So 1 mole ethanol, it will produce 14280 joule divided by 0.0125 mole. Okay, so therefore it will give you 1142.4 kilojoule. Okay, so since this one is combustion, you can see heat of combustion. So therefore your heat combustion should have negative sign. So negative sign here means that indicate exothermic reaction. So therefore, the answer should be negative 1142.4 kilojoule per mole. Negative sign here because if you can see regarding to this calculation here, there is no negative signs. So this negative sign not indicate not indicate minus, but this negative sign indicate that you will have exothermic reaction, means that you release heat to surrounding. Okay, so I think this one is the last question for today. Okay, so which is according to question 1, question 2, question 3, that one is belongs to more to organic chemistry, but for question number 4 is more to heat combustion and so on. Okay, so I wish you good luck. Okay, so if you have any question, you can comment me. Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the explanation, Dr. Naima. So since you have explained all the questions, I hope you can understand. If you have any questions, you may drop your questions into the comment box and we will definitely answer your questions. Please like and share the video also. And we have given the link for you guys in the comment. Please fill up the Google Form survey for our future improvement. Thank you from us.